Guns and Buns, Thoughts and Glocks, an original 30 for 30 ESPN cockumentary, documentary on the rise and fall of the number 1 and 2 pick of the 2019 NBA Draft, Zion Pumper Williamson and Ja Morant, 2 rising stars in the NBA, $300 million men who decided to increase their shooting percentage on and off the court, whether it was shooting at baskets, whether it was bringing in Glocks to clubs, or showcasing your shooting ability at vulva regions. Thoughts and Glocks, Guns and Buns, an original cockumentary, documentary coming only on ESPN Plus, summer of 2024. Alright, so boom, let's talk about this because I waited 10 days to give my opinion on what transpired with Zion Williamson, but I'll keep it very brief as it pertains to Ja Morant. A couple of days ago, he actually took to, what was it, Instagram? Was it Twitter? Doesn't matter. He decided I wanted to disclose that the gun that I had inside of that Instagram live that one of my friends just so happened to go live, and I willfully picked up a firearm. That was just a toy. It was nothing more than a lighter. He decided to go and post this footage.
Nah, fuck this. I'm going to my car, get my other gun, shoot everybody's ass.
Man, what the is you talking about?
What was that? I'm sorry, man. I wasn't thinking about it.
Don't nobody give a what your dumb ass think? Give me this Get your ass up out of here, you beat it, nigga.
Sir, is there anybody in your camp that has a brain? His agent, his PR manager, any of his friends? Does anybody have a brain to tell this man to stop the bleeding of his man's actions? Not only did he just get suspended 25 games, a lot of people felt as if the suspension was relatively light. Personally, in my opinion, I think it was somewhat light. Did he break the law? No. But does he continue to tarnish his image? Without question. Remember, this is not just an isolated particular kind of incident. This is a man who spoke with the commissioner of the league. Remember, it's not as if, oh, well, I'm just a public figure, so I can do whatever the hell I want. The NBA is still his job. So he still has a boss, despite how many millions upon millions of dollars that he just so happens to have. He said he was going to get help. He said he wouldn't make this mistake again. He said he wouldn't tarnish his image. He said he wouldn't find himself in this particular situation once again. And here we were, simply 3 months later, not even 3 months later, in the same ordeal. So the 25-game suspension still is somewhat lower. But I recognize why they did it, so he would be omitted from countless different individual awards. Because remember, they increased, or I should say decreased the barometer to qualify for All-NBA. I believe it's at 65 games. To get the MVP, the most improved player, whatever the case may be, you have to play a set number of games. So that now disqualifies him from countless different things. And if I'm not mistaken, he won't be able to qualify to be an All-Star because he'll be missing the first 25 games of the season. So that's all I got to say about Ja Morant, all right? Because he got the suspension. He's going to miss, an opportunity to get all of those individual awards. He won't be an All-Star next year. He'll have an opportunity to return. Me personally, I believe they probably should have sent a message to him moving forward, similar to what they did with other particular players in the past that had started wilding. With Ja Morant, he's been wilding. It's not as if it's just one incident. It's been countless different incidents, whether it was the pointing of a red laser outside of a car at another particular individual, whether it was trying to have him and his posse intimidate, if I'm not mistaken, it was a minor, having countless different, ordeal things transpire off of the court. There's a reason why the situation with Ja Morant has people so frustrated. It's not just an isolated incident, but I've talked about it in my prior video about Ja. So if you haven't seen it already, it should be over here in the card.
Yeah, y'all go watch that.
Let's move forward to Zion Pumper Williamson. I have no issue with what somebody wants to do in their personal life. I got no issue with the particular kind of women that you just want to go out there and sleep with. When you got it, hell, do whatever the hell you want to do. However, there comes a point where you've got to start to wonder, what is the mindset of an individual who is a $300 million man? Because Zion Williamson signed an extension for $193 million. I'm not counting somebody's pockets, all right? Now, when he entered the league, what was his Nike deal? About $75 million. I'm not counting nobody's pockets, right? He's got countless other endorsement deals that tally upwards of $50 million, if not more than $50 million. You combine all that together, the projection over the course of the next 5 years moving forward is well over $300 $300 million. It's not even counting if he gets another extension on a third contract, not counting the first extension, of course. But I'm not counting nobody's pocket. Why is it that the women you happen to not only decide to sleep with, but procreate with, just so happen to be baby mamas and porn stars? Sir, you have options! To make matters worse, okay? The porn star you just so happen to engage in courtal affairs with, you gave her a monthly allowance of $107,000?
What? I'm gonna shock the world.
It's me, Mario.
When you move, how much do you expect me to pay you a month? But I'm super excited.
What? Now this makes me sick. How in God's name can that human being be from this planet? Does he have no conscience? Does he have no heart? Do you have no soul? You son of a bitch! Do you realize what you just done?
This harlot has receipts for $55,000 and she's withholding the additional information.
What? This is probably the greatest promotional boost that Mariah Mills has ever had in her entire life. If I'm not mistaken, they said via Twitter, her sales or her viewership, searchability, whether it be on Pornhub, whatever the goddamn website just so happened to be, OnlyFans, increased by 200+%. This woman has not stopped tweeting about you over the course of the last 2 weeks. Not only was it a situation of you just happening to go and sleep with her, you gave her an allowance. Let's talk about something real quick, all right? Let's just get in this huddle. Fellas, let's get in this huddle real quick. When we were all young, we all, admit it, anybody who watched pornography, we all thought, man, it would be awesome if I could date one of those porn stars. I'll be having sex all the time. And then as you entered adolescence, early adulthood, you started looking at like, I don't know if I'd want to be in a relationship. Once you stop thinking with this head, you start thinking with this head. You say, I don't think I'd want to be in a relationship. But I think it would still be something that I'd want to engage in a form of courtal affairs with this harlot, just to see what it's like. Because you're still looking for that thrill in the action of coitus and fornication. Then, as you continue to age a bit more, some individuals just so happen to get to those different points at different points in their life, all right? I'm not saying this is a, timeline of how everything is supposed to go. But by the time you get to the third stage, you start to get a little bit repulsed by it and say, I don't think I'd want to put my phalange, my appendage into this poisonous snatch. So Zion not only didn't go through any of these goddamn stages, he stayed at stage 1 because he had Mariah Mills under the assumption that they were together. This man was not only sending her hundreds of thousands of dollars on a monthly basis. Do you understand how difficult it is in this country and around the globe to make $100,000? We got less than like 10%, 15% individuals who's able to actually achieve that on a yearly salary. This motherfucker was hoarding that sumbitch out to a goddamn porn star he could have probably slept with for free. Every single month, she had $1 million salary just for jumping on this man's penis. Then he had other women that he wasn't paying that kind of money to and decided to go and shoot up they goddamn club and get them pregnant. Single mothers with 6-year-old children. You decided to be baby daddy number 2 when they had all these available women everywhere you could have slept with. Zion, are you stupid? And then your father gets in front of the media and has this to say.
Me being Zion's dad, I'm very proud of Zion, what he has done, what he's represented. And I want to say this, and I want to be politically correct when I say it. That's my son, and I love him. When I was a child, I walked like a child, talked like a child, did childish things. But when I became a man, when I understood, then God blessed me.
Man, what the is you talking about?
Was that?
I'm sorry, man. I wasn't thinking about it.
What the hell does that even mean? We were all young before. We weren't all saints. Sir! Obviously, we were all young. Obviously, we all weren't saints. But ain't nobody was out here with all this particular kind of money with your pick of the litter and decided to be motherfucking Mark Henry in 1999.
It's sexual, baby. And I want to give it all to you.
Freaky frog! You're a freaky frog!
What happened to Zion?
You's a freaky ass nigga.
Sexual chocolate up this motherfucker. Then to make matters even worse, okay, another woman just so happened to come forward disclosing that she too was engaging in courtal affairs with Zion Williamson. There's nothing wrong with being a womanizer. There's nothing out there with dealing with a countless, rotation of women who'd like to jump onto the cock carousel. When you got it like that, amen, do you? Here's the problem. You chose the sloppiest women to do it with. Lou Williams had 2 girlfriends at the same time. He had all these different women going on his cock carousel. Ain't nobody said a peep until somebody else just so happened to see it and bring it to the public. Zion got all his business in the doggone street. You couldn't find nobody who could be discreet. Are you kidding me? You chose not only the lowest tier of individuals from the pick of the litter, you decided to have the sloppiest individuals as well? People who gonna put out your information like this? Are you out of your mind? I promise you, I waited 10 days because I wanted to see if anybody else would come forward. It's getting ridiculous. You got one person who you got as the baby mothers. Now she about to become somewhat of a, I don't want to say celebrity, but she's going to get pushed on the algorithm as Zion's baby mom. My phone going off in the background. I'm pretty sure that's probably notifications that Zion Williamson got other harlots coming forward. You got another one trying to clout chase and join into the fray because she's recognizing, and if I'm not mistaken, she has an OnlyFans. So you have one baby mama, you got another porn star, and then you got an OnlyFans girl. And then the porn star is talking the most, tweeting every single day, talking about going to the studio and recording music. Ma'am, you suck dick, swallow, cum, and take penis for a living. Don't nobody give a shit what you got to say on the microphone. Nevertheless, this woman has not stopped talking about her encounters with Zion Williamson, and it just goes to show how sloppy this man just so happens to be. That's all I got to say about Zion. One way or another, the entirety of the 2019 NBA draft class, I shouldn't say the entirety, but a great deal of the notable names have just been moving crazy. Zion sleeping with porn stars, OnlyFans women, and baby mamas. Ja Morant out here trying to audition to play the role of Keanu Reeves out there in John Wick #5. Then you got PJ Washington impregnating Thottimus Prime, Brittany Renner. You got Tyler Hero impregnating Instagram influencers who only showed ass in order to get their doggone followers. The entirety of the 2019 NBA draft is crazy. Wasn't Jordan Poole in there? He can't play good unless there's women who look attractive sitting front row. If there's ugly women on the baseline, the court side, he can't play basketball. What happened in 2019 in the draft class, the way these people can't play ball, bro? RJ Barrett, mid. Cameron Reddish, mid. Nobody else from this draft class gonna be known for anything but absolute tomfoolery. It's getting crazy out here. But for Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, the $2 million, $3 million, $100 million, $200 million, $300 million men, for y'all to move this sloppy in the streets and your fathers not excoriate you.
Porn stars over here talking about if you love them, you was eating ass of community. Hey, couldn't have been my son. I would have hit him with the final flash.
Oh, shit!
Get it together. What's wrong with them? Couldn't have been my children. Couldn't have been my friend. Because if I saw them moving like this, they would have got hit in the head with a bat. Both of y'all and the entire 2019 draft class, do me a favor, from me to you, put your motherfucking head back down. And don't let me see no news come out during the summer about Ja Morant and Zion Williamson that's worse than what we just seen in the past couple of weeks. Because if that's the case, I'm going to have to call the enforcer. Chris!
Here comes the United States champion, Chris Benoit. Now go kill him.
You mean to tell me you watched the entire video but you haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button and become a member on Patreon or on YouTube to get access to the Discord. We're waiting for you in the Shadow Realm.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Please! Please!
What are you waiting for, huh? Oh my god.